Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. Our career changes. Actually, we're in our mid 20s. If we've learned anything in the pandemic, it's that we don't like what we do and we'd like to do something that's more us and something that's sustainable long term. I think it's different for both of us. If you want to get into what jobs you worked in here in LA and the industry and what your career change is.
So I went to college and majored in communication arts, thinking that I can get a job that's very close to acting, which is something that I've always wanted to do. But I just know that being an actor is gonna suck. So I just took communication arts because it's broad. I can do, I don't know, a random marketing position in any corporate company with that degree. So I was a videographer in Silicon Valley and I thought I can transfer that here in LA, but it's a whole different ballpark.
How so?
They're more specialized and it's all about networking and I just don't know anyone here. I think videography is a boys club and it's more of them geeking out over specs. As an actress and someone who's in love with performing arts, I'm just not into the specs.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in San Jose, so prime Silicon Valley, and then later started working in tech. My goal was to work for like a video game company. I kind of worked at a sort of video game company, but they were more like business oriented than they were video game oriented. I want to work for like Nintendo, PlayStation, those kind of video game companies. I don't see any way they're hiring right now. So after I lost my job, I decided to, look at other avenues. That's when I found like these videos on stocks and real estate. And in order for me to get a home, we need to get a loan. And in order to get a loan, I need a job. So I've been looking for more job opportunities. At the end of the day, I want to work with tech. So yeah, I'm looking towards like IT, QA analysts, and data analysts. Oh, let's talk about the difference between LA and Bay Area. The job markets.
Okay, sure. So the Bay Area, what I like about them with acting is that they have a lot of commercials and they just pay well. I don't know why.
How much, let's give an example of how much they pay.
I'm not sure if I can name the client, but there's a giant website that used me as a customer model, but they paid me $250 to smile and to sit. They booked me for, I think, 6 hours, but they only needed me for like 4.5. And there's a big company. It's a blue company. Their icon is blue. So it's one of the bigger ones. They booked me for like 8 hours and they paid me $700 for the whole gig. And the same thing, I was just sitting and smiling and looking at the camera, then looking at the chart with a smile. Head tilt. Okay.
Well, what about it here in LA?
So here in LA, I was paid for a cosmetic line. They used me for 30 minutes for $75. What else? I got a non-speaking role for $112. And I've seen gigs like that too in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At the same time, it's hard to get those jobs when, if you go in the casting website, below it is like, we need you for 3 hours for $250. And I'm like, oh, which one do I apply? And yeah, so they say there's less gigs in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And there are, I guess. But in my experience, I guess because of my look, brown Southeast Asian girl, and it was pre-COVID, I was booked there more.
I think it's your market.
LA, there is a demand for Netflix shows or other shows that prioritize diversity. There's just so much competition though, and I'm unrepresented. I know that's a stupid move to go to LA unrepresented, but I came here for the training.
Yeah. So the major difference between LA and the Bay Area is the amount of jobs that are open. I've been constantly looking for jobs that are open. For every one job you find here in LA, there's about 3 of them open in the Bay Area. And that's just some crazy statistics. I mean, I'm looking at it in the tech industry. And I'm including San Diego because I know there's a lot of tech jobs over in San Diego and Orange County, even Silicon Beach, so San Fernando Valley. There's really not many positions open unless you're a senior. If you are an entry level or an associate in the tech industry, please do yourself a favor and get experience. Just the mere fact that they have entry level positions here, it always means that they're going to underpay you. Again, strictly in the tech industry. Let's say you work as a IT for about a year. You're still technically entry level. If you go to the Bay Area, you might get a position that's paying you $50K, maybe $55K per year. You go to LA, they're gonna pay you 40, maybe $45K. You have to weigh your options. If you wanna make more money starting off the bat while gaining experience, you might as well be in the Bay Area than you would here in LA. But if you are mid to senior level, I would say LA tends to favor people who have a demand, people who know their stuff and can really help out a company. Those people are in and they always get paid a lot.
I mean, I got lucky with my Wilshire company because they paid me slightly above minimum wage.
Wilshire is a nice area as well.
Yeah, it's a nice area. But like if you're into social media, they just pay you $15 and that's basically minimum wage here in California. I also was a videographer for a dance competition and I thought in my head it was cool because
you traveled a lot when you were as a videographer.
Like it's the packaging, like, oh, you get to meet a lot of people in your field and you travel a lot and a lot of this will be covered, but the pay wasn't there. So it was paid by gig, and after dividing it by the number of hours, it's just minimum wage. And that's the reality of media jobs here in LA. When you first start out, it's minimum wage and you stay at that price range. After crunching the numbers, not only financially, but also with my time, I just couldn't find the time to pursue my art.
That reminds me of, remember I applied for Activision Blizzard. They had like a huge layoff. They had like 100 employees or something. And they had some new positions open for entry level. The same field I did, QA analyst, but they called it QA tester. They were paying an El Segundo $15 an hour. It's horrible. You can't live off that pay. And they're mainly trying to get these college students who don't know better to get these very stressful jobs. And honestly, they won't know anything. Just trying to lowball you all the time.
I guess what's very disheartening is that people in LA have dreams, hopes, and aspirations, and they feed off of that and they pray to those people. So they know that there are people who are willing to take these minimum wage jobs. Actually, no, they're not minimum wage jobs, but they pay minimum wage in their company. And they know there are people who are willing to take them because they dream to work for Blizzard or they dream to work for CBS.
Snap, Santa Monica Studios or Naughty Dog Studios.
Or even like Netflix or Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Which is it's very sad. These entry-level jobs, the people who are taking them, they're not entry-level people. I don't think it's even the industry anymore. It's the city justifying that this is your dream. It's going to be hard. So push through.
Yeah, you have to pay your dues.
Pay your dues. That's mentality.
Yeah.
And
do you want to speak about what's difficult about making the career change now?
I don't think it's that difficult. I think it's actually easier because in LA there's so much competition with art. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, it's just not cutting it. Yeah, so I decided to have my career change, which is real estate. I guess I got the idea when Brian was watching a Meet Kevin video during the pandemic, because the good thing about the pandemic is that it gave us a lot of time to think about what we really want to do. And he was like watching a Meet Kevin video about passive income and how you can 10x your money and like, I'm paraphrasing, but something like that. You can X your money in a few years and leverage money and all that stuff and buy property. And my family owns a lot of property and they rent it out too. And I knew that I wanted to do that, but I always thought that I would be a landlord by the age of 50, maybe 40 if I'm lucky. Mm-hmm. But I decided to do that early because I like the idea of passive income and stability. And I just like houses.
So what are you doing now?
So what I'm doing now is that I'm trying to get my California real estate license. I'm taking a pause of acting so I can finally concentrate on something that, fine, it's not in the industry, which is what videography was, but it gave me stability. It gave me less anxiety, less stress. It gave me a path to something that I could see as more realistic. And I'm very happy about it.
And then in terms of what I'm doing, I never knew like what goes on into real estate until like these videos made it kind of interesting for me. And then of course stocks. I was learning about stocks. I did dabble in it a little bit, but it wasn't like major until I watched these stock videos where I'm like, you know what, I could do some research. I could put my money in there, and I would say a lot of rich people, they own stocks or real estate. So it's something you may want to learn if you want to expand your income when you're making a lot more money down the line. Anything else?
Also, we really need your help in getting better at podcasts. So if you have any great ideas,
if you have any criticisms,
let us know also what you want to know about LA. I feel like a lot of people have questions for regular people, not celebrities.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave comments to give us some criticism. If you're on the podcast, is there any way they can reach out to us? Social media will be in our description. And watch out for the next podcast. It should be coming up soon. And we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.